How are you? We're going to do the article review. So let me pull that up. This is an outline I gave you in class. You should have a paper copy. If you don't, I understand. Now you have a virtual copy. Use it. You need to turn this in when you turn in your article review. It does need to be filled out. So what you're looking at here is SU's guide to anyone in psychology on how to gather information to write an article review. An article review summarizes the most important data from research and gathers it together so that professors and researchers can have the information from a whole bunch of articles efficiently. So that's what you're doing. You're going to look at an article, you're going to glean from it the most important information. You're going to put it on this outline first and then turn this outline into an article review. And that's today's lesson. There'll be a lot of instruction, but once you get the feel of it, you'll be able to walk down the road pretty efficiently. So look at the sheet real quick. It's going to ask you for this information. You're going to take this information from the article that you find. So the first thing we're going to do is go and look at how we find those articles. So I'm going to just shrink down the screen for a second and go to Google. I want you to use the Syracuse University databases. So what you're going to do here is search Syracuse, got to spell it right, Syracuse University Library. Click on that guy. Now you're in the gate of education at Syracuse University. I'm going to click on this. Databases A to Z. That's where I want to go. And from this screen, I want to take you to a specific database on psychology. So go to P. Scroll down the 57 databases of P. Down to Psych Articles. Down to Psych Articles. That's the only database I want you to use for this project. Here it is right there, a beautiful little friend of ours. I'm going to click on that. And right here is where most students stumble, so stay with me. Here it's going to ask you to enter your net ID. That's your SU number. Now I'm going to type in mine. You can see it's already saved, but listen carefully. You have to put a 0 at the end. So my ID is 101-552-374, and then you must add in a 0. Add that 0, guys. My password is my last name in lowercase. My password is my last name in lowercase. My password is my last name in lowercase. And then I'm going to authenticate. Now the gateway of information has been opened to me. And I see a pretty typical EBSCO database, but this is rich stuff. Okay, before I start, this is what I want to do. I want to go down here and I want to click full text. If you don't click that, your life becomes miserable. For years of publication, I want to type in 1980 to 2020. So you want to do it in the last 40 years. Now this is essential. You must click scholarly peer-reviewed journals. Please, please, please do that. Skip the publishers, that's not important. Age groups, that's not important. Methodology, not important. So on and so forth. You let those be. And then I want you to, I'm so sorry in methodology, I want you to click on empirical study. Empirical study. Okay, so now I've set up the framework for the type of article I want to search. I want to search an experiment, an empirical or database study, the last 40 years, scholarly peer-reviewed article, full text. Now I'm going to go up and I'm going to do the search. And for this article, let me type in territoriality, something that I always find interesting in psychology. Territoriality in public spaces, territoriality in personal space, territoriality in humans. I don't want territoriality in squirrels, so I'm going to go to that. Parking spaces, that looks so interesting. Let's go there. Let's go there. And I'm going to do my search. Now, these are the articles that are brought up, and I'm going to go shopping now. I'm going to look, there's only 5, so that's good. The effect of a presence of a person in a wheelchair on parking, cool. 5-year study on finds gender, race, and age in illegal parking. Ooh, that's cool. Deterring unauthorized use. Oh, this is all good stuff. So I talk to the other people in my group, and I say, you know what? I'm looking at this. So I'm going to click on this. And in front of me, I'm going to have an 8-page published peer-reviewed article from a peer-reviewed journal on wheelchair, the presence of a person in a wheelchair and parking lot battles. And so I'll read the abstract first. This is going to tell me a whole lot of information, and it's going to tell me whether this is worth my time. This is the most important thing for you to do. Before you go hunting and gathering information, read this and see if this is something of interest to you. If you like it, then the first thing I'd do if I were you is I'd go over here to the right-hand column. These little things will have their little pop-up. Cite. I'm going to click on that. I'm going to go down to APA, and there's my citation right there. Cut and paste and put that in a document where you can use it. That's where I want to go next. Now I know where it is, who it was written by, and I can share it with other people. You want to do APA citation, and you get it right over here in the right-hand column. Now I have it. Now this is what I want you to do, and this is where you could cheat, I suppose, or where you could be a slacker, but don't. I want you to read this thing. I want you can't really do it with a highlighter, but however you can figure out how to do it in the world of technology, read this article. Find out what they did. There's their method. There's their procedure. There are their results. Little chart and graph. The second experiment, you could write about both, or you can choose one. It's your choice. And then the discussion. In the discussion, the authors are going to tell you what went well, what went wrong, what they discovered, what they wish they looked at, what they'll look at next time, what they found that they didn't expect to find. This is where all the money is. The discussion is where the money is. Read that with interest. So now I've showed you how to go on to the SU database, find yourself a groovy article, find an article you want to read. Make sure you find a full text article that is from a peer-reviewed journal, that is an empirical study, that is published in the last 40 years. Pull that baby up on your screen, go over here and get your APA citation, and then start to read it with interest. And that's the second step of doing your article review. Now send me questions about this, and I will gladly help you. You need to search the topic that you and your peers discussed that last day we formed groups. So what topic did your peers agree to discuss? I know your topics were loose. I know you didn't form a hypothesis yet. I get that. You can take the main idea of that topic and go searching. It doesn't matter today. It doesn't matter in virtual school if you have the same article as anybody else, unless you copy. If you copy, then you're going to get a 0 and all kinds of trouble you don't want. But go out and find an article you're interested in on a topic you're interested in psychology, in the Psych Articles database, and find it, cite it, read it, and then you're going to write an article review for it. Okay, guys? So go to the SU databases and get yourself something interesting to read. Some of them, the record has been a 72-page article that someone dug up. This one's 8. I like 8. 8 to 12 is good. 72 is silly. I don't think you want that. Don't put that in your life. But I found an article that immediately kind of interested me. The reason I got that was because I narrowed my search to peer reviewed, to full text, to the last 40 years, 1980 to 2020, and to empirical study. Put those limits on it, and you're gonna get the fruit that you want. Okay, guys. Next, we'll go to what to do with it once you have it. Now I'm going to figure out how to turn off QuickTime Player here. There we go.